Hello, everyone, and welcome to All Four Downs podcast presented by CMG Central. Subscribe to the CMG Central YouTube channel, or you can follow us on Facebook with All Four Downs. I'm with Heck Love, Obi-Wan, Week 17 of the NFL, and there are plenty of news going around. Let's start first with the Denver Broncos firing their head coach. Wow, like I'll tell you what. From the very beginning, after week one, we've heard that the coach was no good, man. Right after week one, the way he managed the game and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, like Hackett doesn't have it. Hackett can't hack. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. I hear you.
But they don't blame Russell Wilson for nothing, bro.
I don't know, man. There was a big hype all year. We thought we were buying into it, and it just let us down. I mean, last week, 51-14 with this past Sunday, Christmas. I mean, good Lord. I mean, it's just pathetic in Denver. It really
Pathetic
is.
indeed. And then in the same division, what you have is the Raiders benching David Carr. Uh, so he's out for the next two games. He's not even the backup anymore. So I got a question to ask you. We talked about this. We text each other about it. Is there a possibility that David Carr gets traded out
I
of the
believe.
Raiders?
I think so. I
All
think
right.
they maybe. I think they're just looking for a different way of life there in Las Vegas without Derek Carr. I mean, to me, he's not. To me, he's not washed up. But I think his
No.
playing days are done in Las Vegas. So
Could you see him as a New York Giant quarterback?
I can as a backup. I mean, he brings some experience to the table, and if something was to happen to Jones, at least we know we got somebody reliable. Tyrod Taylor is nothing to be looking forward to if Daniel Jones goes down for any reason. I
But you
want
say
somebody.
backup though, but you look at this that we don't have any the Giants don't have any wide receivers,
Mhm.
right? A go to. And they don't put up that many points with Daniel Jones. And throughout his career, they haven't put up a lot of points. So was not to say, man, that he becomes the new. I believe he could be the next quarterback, a veteran, and draft another quarterback, because they're out there. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people, outside the Power Five, there are a lot of quarterbacks that have potential. And you notice that you don't have to be a Power Five school to be a
Yeah.
legit quarterback.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I mean, I just personally, I'm not. I don't want to give up on Daniel Jones. I mean, he's doing with what he has, and I think
Now, but you
you
don't
gotta.
want to give him up. But when I watch him play and I have to replay it for the replays they give you, most of the time he holds the ball too long. Like I feel like when they do pressure him in that pocket, he freezes and looks for a scapegoat to run instead of trying to throw the ball down the field. You know what I mean? He doesn't anticipate. I don't know if he's afraid of throwing an interception, but there are a few times last week that I've seen that the receivers got open but he was unable to give them the ball.
Hey, let's just see how he goes one more full year season with Brian Dable, and then we could talk about whether or not he needs to be there. But at times he makes those plays, and the receivers are not getting the ball. You see, so and then there's times where these receivers are not getting open, and he has to do all the running himself, which is not a good thing. I get it. Running quarterbacks don't last that long, so. But at least we know we can still pick up that couple of yards instead of having a quarterback that's going to eat the sack like Eli Manning did a whole lot. So I'm grateful for that much. At least we know he'll pick. If he sees the opening, he'll take it. Give me the few yards and give us a fighting chance for the next down.
All
So
right. Well, I'll talk about quarterbacks on the other side and heading down to Miami. You got Tua Tagovailoa that is not going to be playing. As they're leaving the decision as to questionable. But look, man, when you're dealing with concussions and two or three concussions in a small amount of time,
mm-hmm.
regardless of the situation, it's time to like not play for the rest of the season. I think
Yeah,
Teddy Bridgewater, who is a uh, former backup from back then to a former starter with the Denver Broncos, and now he's back in that same role like he usually has been.
yeah,
And I think he could carry this team to another level.
it's possible. We can see how that goes. I mean, Tua needs to sit this out. I know people were on this Tua train early in the season when they beat Buffalo and Miami's this, Miami's that, Miami's going to do this. No, no, no. Let's pump the brakes here. They
Well,
are.
and I know there was a certain podcaster that's part of the CMG Central family that was all hype and all wonders of the Miami Dolphins, and I laughed about it. And in a sense, like Miami was supposed to be this best first place team, and yada yada yada. I almost fell in that trap to believe that podcaster, right? And then I said, nah, this can't be, man. You got the Buffalo Bills. You know, you got the Jets running it up. You have the pay. It's a hard division, right? And I don't think that Tua had what it takes. You got talent around you, but still, I mean, there's just something about that team. They just need a couple of extra pieces there, and they're gonna be legit. So
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
see what they're gonna do off season. But I don't see anything great happening with them. I don't.
no,
And
I
then
mean,
here's another thing. Ready? So Hill ended up leaving the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
mhm.
And nobody fought for him to stay for the Chiefs, right? He just went to Miami. So was not to say that without him, the Chiefs are still playing good football.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. They're playing a little bit better. Yeah, they're handling their thing. You know, they're still fighting for the number one seed without Tyreek Hill. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It goes
anyways,
to show. It goes to show the what they really need. As long as they got Patrick Mahomes, the playmaker will make things happen. So he'll find another
absolutely. Hey,
receiver. He has it.
I know there's plenty of news out there. I know the defense. Oh my God, I'm about to kill this right now. We have a defensive end. Was he playing defensive end? Yeah. TJ Watt or
JJ
JJ Watt.
Watt.
Excuse me.
JJ Watt. TJ
JJ
still got a
Watt.
long
He's
way to
what? He's
go.
was he defensive end or was he a linebacker?
I think it was defensive end
Right, I
for
think
the
so.
Houston Texans,
Right, Texans, and now with the
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals. Now he announced that he's going to retire. He's going to
Hmm.
play out his last two games. So that's pretty interesting, man. I like that. That guy, man. There it is. What's up, Frank? How you doing?
Hey,
Uh,
Frank.
and he's keeping me on my toes. His toes. There you go.
He's speaking it
Anyways,
real.
speaking it real, that's right. So he's retiring, and it's good
Yeah,
for him, man. I just wish that he was with a better team. I
I
really do.
know.
He deserves it, man. I mean, this guy, I know he was dealing with injuries and stuff, but he is ready for the afterlife of the NFL. So more props to him. But we're
Oh yeah.
moving on to week 17 schedule presented by CMG Central, CMG Sports. It's all four downs podcast. We're getting ready for our picks. But before we do, let's look at the standings real quick. Right now, we're looking in. Buffalo Bills are still the number one seed in the AFC, tied with the Chiefs because they own the head-to-head record. But then you also see the Bengals taking charge in the North. The Jaguars, surprisingly, the Jaguars are on top of their division, still tied with the Titans. But can you
Yeah.
imagine the Jaguars in the playoffs?
Yeah. I would have never thought that,
Wow.
but they have the right tools to get there, and they're doing it. They're beating the teams down the stretch that we didn't think they could do it. Hey, they are where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Then you're looking at the wild cards right now, the Ravens, Chargers, and Dolphins. But the Ravens are still fighting their way to see if they could get the North. The Chargers are already clinched. They're not catching up with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Dolphins, it's a must win. And of course, they're playing against the New England Patriots, which is right under them right now. And then also you got the Jets, Titans, Steelers, the Steelers, bro. And they moved their game to a Sunday night football, right, against the Ravens. And that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
an awesome rivalry. We're going to talk about that. But Mike Tomlin went on saying about how, I think he said it professionally, but I know it bothers him because you're changing the schedule for what? For ratings, even though they're practicing and trying to get that routine going on.
Yeah.
Now that they just been notified that it's going to be a late start. So I totally understand on his part. But look, I know we're gonna get through our picks later or pretty soon, but Ravens, Chargers, and Dolphins. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Which one of those three would not make it?
I say the Dolphins. They're on life support, man. And if anybody could knock them down, is the New England Patriots. Honestly, I don't have no faith in the Jets at the moment. But yeah, out of the three, I say Miami is the one that could falter here. They are literally
Man, I don't like the Patriots offense, to be honest with you. Like how you take a guy that was a defensive coordinator for probably the majority of his career and put him as an offensive guru. I don't get it. Um,
I
I would love to see the Jets make it.
I don't know. I really don't have no hope or faith in anybody who they start at quarterback right now for the New York Jets. So
Mike,
Mike, Mike,
Mike, Mike,
Mike
Mike,
White,
Mike, Mike.
the
That's
great
right,
white
Mike White,
hype.
baby, Mike White. He gives them life, but they're on a losing streak, man. So it's kind of rough. All right, moving on to the NFC, the Eagles. I believe that this is the week they'll clinch the first round bye and home field advantage, but they're getting banged up at the worst time. Then you got the Vikings going over to the Packers. Then you got the 49ers, which their schedule is looking a lot easier and favorable for them to surprise everybody. And then you have the Bucks.
I mean, you talk about the South on both sides not playing up to par here. I mean, this is ridiculous. How first place is 7-8 on both sides of the South side of the AFC NFC. Yeah,
No,
it's just embarrassing.
it is a really embarrassing. And I missed some of these comments before, but I will get with Frank later. Hold on for a second and some other ones. But the wild card right now, Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders is pretty much the NFC East running the show.
Yep.
However, come in mind that the Commanders are changing quarterbacks at the. Dude, I don't get it, man. Heineken is probably the best quarterback for the Commanders, but they're going to start Carson Wentz this week.
You know what? I will bench the head coach for that. I mean, what are you thinking? What kind of sense? You on a run to make the playoffs and you want to sit your quarterback who's gotten you to this point? I mean, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever. But then again, what makes sense in the NFL nowadays? We don't know the rules anymore. We don't know what a catch is. We don't know what anything is nowadays. So yeah, you know what? If Washington wants to shoot themselves in the foot, they have no one else to blame but themselves and Ron Rivera. I mean, that's just I
They're
just
looking
say
for they're looking for a spark, and I tell you what, here's a spark. Here's a spark. I like to put some comments there. Frank says, "Remember, Tua has a concussion, and this season, when Tua hasn't played, they have lost." And then he also said, "I have a lost faith in Tua, and others. They need to draft or get a quarterback." Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that for Miami because he is a Miami fan, but the Commanders need to draft a quarterback. They do this offseason. There's and again there are plenty of quarterbacks, not a lot as how it was the two previous NFL drafts, but this one I'm saying outside the Power Five, there are plenty of quarterbacks that can fulfill that role. I think the Commanders are a must need, but I still think that Henneken is the guy that
yeah,
could push that team. It gives them more life. All right,
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
Seattle it's on life support. The Lions, they're just they're the Cinderella team. That's how I see them. And then the Green Bay Packers, guess how I see them? It's like a politician that you don't want to see anymore. And that is Aaron Rodgers, bro. You know what I mean? Like I look at him and then it's like you want to like him. You know that he's this MVP guy, right? But it's like, damn, like you're not like the whole storyline for the last two seasons. I have doubts like how could you be a leader of an organization when you just cry a lot or you always complain about certain body parts that are hurting or you broke something. Like remember he was
Hmm.
talking about his toe
Yeah, yeah.
and right and now it's his fingers or whatever. I don't know. And then like the receivers are not like following the assignments. I'm like, man, you just throw your dirty laundry out there. I don't know. But I don't know what to make out of Green Bay, but whatever it is, they're undefeated in the month of December with their head coach.
Yeah. You mentioned Detroit being the Cinderella team. They are Cinderella without the glass slipper. They just they just can't seem to find that glass slipper. They're in the right vicinity, but they can't seem to. They're 6-2 in their last 8 games. They're on. They're I won't say that they're on fire, but they're lighting the match to where they're getting a spark, to where they could be dangerous down the stretch here.
Absolutely. Hey, now another thing to look at once we get to our picks is look at the draft order. You got the Houston Texans number 1 right now, Chicago number 2, right? So pretty much they're like, if the Houston wins and Chicago loses, Houston still got that half game advantage, right? And well, no, not really. I think Houston will have a better winning percentage than Chicago, and Chicago will end up being the number 1 team. So keep in mind when you're making your picks, which teams do you think is gonna tank? Well, I'm just saying because it's real. Tanking is real in the NFL.
Looking at the streak right now, look like Chicago is doing a better job than what Houston is.
Seriously? Chicago got it. Oh, when you talking about trying to be number 1?
Yeah, because they're losing 8 in a row. I mean, at least Houston won a game last week, a game that you picked correctly, I should say.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And talking about picks, I did good again, huh?
Yes,
I did good better than you, yeah?
Yeah, you did one better than me. You went 12-4 this past week. I went 11-5. So yeah, but it's far-fetched. You're on life support trying to catch me.
Like I told you, man. Sometimes I just gotta let you. You're like the preseason guy, right?
Yeah,
I got you. I didn't play my preseason, but I take week 1 through the middle as preseason, and you carry the torch. Now I got the torch. It is what it is. Big shout out to Wesley Shaw, my homeboy. I hope everything's good for you. He's he is Mr. America to me, man. The bodybuilding, everything else. We go back in the days bowling, and especially, we're both Army veterans. So to you and your family, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. He says, as a Lions fan, they don't find a way to mess up this opportunity. I don't think they'll mess it up. I think the competitions will be there, but the Lions need help, and that they could win out, but they're going to need help from other teams so they could put themselves in the wild card. And if they do go to the playoffs, I got a feeling they're going to be that upset team, like surprise everybody, maybe looking like the Cincinnati Bengals of last year.
They could, honestly. And that old adage saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. However, in this case for the Detroit Lions, it is how you start, because you started off so poorly. Yeah, it's how you finish also, and you're finishing strong, but you're at a point where you still need help. You're doing everything you're supposed to. That's good. You kind of flopped last week, which you needed that win a lot last week against Carolina. However, you're still a threat, and I give Detroit Lions that they're a threat since Barry Sanders in the early 90s.
All right. Well, yeah, you know what? It's time for the picks, and we're going to start with our first one, Thursday Night Football, the Titans versus the Cowboys. And look, they got Willis as a starter for the Tennessee Titans. Tannehill is out for the rest of the season. The Cowboys, man, they should be in good shape to win this game. I don't think that they need to go all out because they already clinched. But if they really want to surpass the Eagles, knowing that the Eagles are vulnerable right now, it's a must win for them, right? So this might be a good game Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. At first I thought, when I saw the schedule, this was going to be a great game coming out late in the season. But Tennessee's on a 5-game losing streak. They're fighting for their division lives. So I see the Dallas winning this game without a problem. I think it's easy for Dallas to win this game.
Don't ever say it's easy, because they were supposed to win in Jacksonville, right? I'm just saying. For some odd reason, they're struggling against the AFC South, and that's a garbage division.
Yeah,
but I'm with you, man. The Cowboys have won two road games at Tennessee, and being that the game's at Tennessee at Nissan Stadium, I am also taking the Cowboys to win this game. All right, moving on to the Cardinals at the Falcons. Falcons won the last three games in
Look,
December and Christmas time in Atlanta. All right. They have. Okay. With the Cardinals, Kyler Murray is gonna be out. He has ACL surgery next week. The big question is who else is gonna step up to the plate? I don't see it happening. I'm taking the Falcons to win. Who you got?
I got the Falcons in this game. I mean, I know they're both on a losing streak at this point, but with Atlanta averaging at least, I think they're averaging about 14 points a game in their 4-game losing streak. I think that Desmond Ritter will help get this team on the right track. At least the Falcons have a quarterback that they can look to for the future here. I don't know what the Cardinals are dealing with. Give me the Falcons.
All right, we got the Bears and the Lions. That means
we
bro.
talked about this,
you're up.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about, the watch out who may be tanking. I think that the Chicago Bears are tanking here. I think they're doing their best to try to get that number 1 spot. I think Detroit got, they know they have everything on the line here. They win this game, I think, pretty well here. I don't see how Chicago's going to stop them on any aspect of the ball here. Offense, defense, in the air, on the ground. Detroit handles this game without a problem. Looking forward to next week. So I
don't know about a problem. I think this is, if the Bears play it right, I mean, this is a competitive game, right? And their last meeting, the Bears kicker Santos missed a point after kick after a touchdown, and the Lions capitalized with a touchdown run to win 31-30. Could the Bears tweak it up a little bit and find a way to win? Look, the game was at Chicago. Now this is in Detroit. I'm taking Detroit to win this game.
Yeah, Detroit's won 3 of the last 4 games at home, so I think this is a bounce-back game for them from losing last week. They win this game.
All right, well, moving on to the Vikings at the Packers. Now, the Packers are undefeated in the month of December, like I said earlier, with their head coach, okay, Matt LaFleur. The last time both teams met, it was in week 1. And this is a big test for the Vikings. Can they surpass and put away the Green Bay Packers? What do you think?
You're going to not believe this, but I don't think they are. I don't think the Vikings are going to win this game. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to show his G-Man magic here, and he's going to beat the Vikings. Earlier this year was the first game of the season. Vikings won. We talked about the Vikings winning division. They got that at hand. But I think that this is where the Vikings are going to slip up here and lose to Green Bay. I got the Packers winning this game at a very close game here. I really do. I got Green Bay.
All right, same here. I got Green Bay Packers as well. The Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Houston Texans. Now, the Jaguars have won 6 of their last 8 games. They can clinch the division title with the win. Texans can lose and be the game. Oh, shall I say it? They could lose this game and clinch a first-round pick.
Yeah, I just like the way Jacksonville's playing all of a sudden. Their hopes were so high up there when they beat the Dallas Cowboys. So I like Jacksonville to win this game, man, and really go out and try to win this division. I want to see what they can do. I want to see what they got going on down there in South Florida.
Absolutely, same here, man. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Moving on to the Broncos visiting the Chiefs. Broncos fired their head coach, Russell Wilson. They say that he is what's that key word that they use? Like, he's fixable. There it is, fixable. We're talking about a veteran quarterback who's already have a Super Bowl ring, but he's fixable. I don't know, man. I don't know, but this is, look, man, they got a Super Bowl defense. Defense are playing awesome. They just don't got no support in the offense. You got the Chiefs on fire. They know they're playing for a home field advantage. I'm taking the Chiefs on this one.
Oh, I got the Chiefs, man. Patrick Mahomes is 10-0 against the Denver Broncos, and the Chiefs has won 14 straight against the Broncos. I mean, this is just a dumpster fire for the Denver Broncos. So the Chiefs still got to be careful. Don't get me wrong. This is a division game, but, I think they'll go out there and handle their business because they know what they got riding at this.
Hey, check this out. The Chiefs has won 14 straight games against the Denver Broncos.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Frank says seems more like a washed up team over there. Yeah. They're washed up all right. We'll see who's going to be the new head coach for the Denver Broncos. And I got more to talk about that, but I'm going to save that comment for later. But the Dolphins visiting the Patriots. Tua Tagovailoa will not be playing this weekend. Terry Bridgewater will be the backup. Now, out of his whole career, Teddy Bridgewater has never faced the New England Patriots. However, Mac Jones is 0-4 against the Dolphins. Who you got to win this game?
Do we need to keep on adding to that? I mean, the Dolphins are 3-5 on the road and on the midst of a 4-game losing streak. Okay. I mean, what more? Well, I can't say nothing good about the Patriots either. They're 3-4 at home, and they've lost four of the last 5 games. Can I get a coin and flip this game? I think I trust the New England Patriots just a smidge more than I do the Miami Dolphins. So, give me the New England Patriots. Seriously.
All right, man. I'm going to disagree with you finally.
Okay.
Finally. But I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins on this game, man. Look, the temperature's not cold over there, so they're gonna realize it's gonna be raining, but I got a feeling that Miami will pull it off in New England.
You know what? Whoever wins this game between you and I, surprise! Come on,
yeah.
Lord have mercy.
But then again, you got to have drama at the end, right?
Yeah, exactly. You do.
Dolphins win.
They'll end the tie.
Dolphins win. They clinch.
They'll end the tie.
Not about clinch. The Giants need to clinch their game against the Indianapolis Colts. This is their last home game of the regular season. Brian Daboll, I'm telling you what, man, that guy has done wonders with that team. And I'm telling you, the Giants does not have any talent. They do not have any talent, okay? And yet they do what they do. And that's called coaching. It's called management. It is something that Judge couldn't do last year, right? All that talk that he said he was going to do to educate. I think Brian Daboll is doing what he needs to do, and this is the reason why they chose him to be the head coach. However, on the other side, Jeff Saturday, interim head coach for the Colts, you already know that he is not going to be the coach of the Colts next year, okay? After blowing a 33-point lead a couple of weeks ago, there's no way I could say that the Giants are going to struggle in this game. They can't. And if anything, this might be the first time and maybe in 3 seasons that the Giants will score over 30 points.
You know, we need Barkley to wake up in this game, man. Barkley's averaged about 5 yards a carry in the last 2 weeks. So we need him to have a big game here. We need to just shut the door on this playoff game already, this playoff spot, and win this game already. Seriously. I mean, the Colts are a dumpster fire. And there's no reason why, with what little talent that we have, we cannot run up the score on the Indianapolis Colts. Seriously.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
We got to play mistake-free football here. And the Giants know what's at stake here. They can't get too hyped up, but they know what's at stake here because you don't want to leave it in the hands of anybody else. Do your job. And plus, the Giants are 3-0 against the AFC South this year, averaging a combined 5 points. They have averaged about 5 points a game by beating the other 3 teams combined. So it may be a close one. I don't know. But either way, we just need to sweep the South and call it a year with that.
All right, the Saints visit the Eagles. Saints are getting hot at the last second, man. But then you got the Eagles that are just getting banged up at the wrong time. 13-2. They just need to win that one game. And it seems like for a lot of teams, they just need that one game, right? With 2 weeks left of the season. The Saints are mathematically in, and of course, it's the NFC South, right? They can try to win the division. I don't know how, but I don't know what to tell you, man. But the bottom line is, which team is going to protect the ball more? I'm going to lean over to the Eagles to beat the Saints.
Yeah, I'm leaning to the Eagles too. I mean, if they are uncertain with Jalen Hurts, just stick with Gardner Minshew, man. I mean, he had a good game last week against the Cowboys. Stick him in this game. I don't see him having too much issues against the Saints defense in this game. So I like the Eagles to win this and clinch home field advantage.
All right, the 49ers visits the Raiders. You already know that David Carr will not be the starter of the Las Vegas Raiders for the next two games. Who knows if he's on the trade market in the offseason, but you got the 49ers. They're quick. They're a beast. I don't have any comments to say, but to tell you that Kyle Shanahan has his team ready. These are Super Bowl contenders right now. 49ers defeats the Raiders.
Mr. Irrelevant has passed for at least 2 touchdowns in 4 straight games. The hottest team in the NFL right now. Give me the 49ers.
What? Here we go, baby.
Yeah.
The Steelers versus the Ravens. Now it says start time 1 o'clock. That is not going to happen. That is Sunday night football. Who you got, baby?
Give me the Ravens. To me, it was a good story for the Steelers, winning last week. We know the whole Mike Tomlin has never finished under 500 in his career. But I just think the Ravens are going to find a way of just squeaking this one out. So I think the magic of the Steelers are going to come to an end. The clock strikes midnight on the Steelers.
No. I'm sorry. Midnight leads over to Monday, and it's not happening, my friend, okay? No, this ain't the World Series of the Yankees and the Red Sox when the clock strikes 12 and the Red Sox win the championship. No, it's not happening, okay? I'm telling you this, that the Steelers are going to win this game, and I'm going to tell you why.
So it's not like...
Go ahead.
So it's not like Derek Jeter hitting home run at 12:01 being Mr. November? Gotcha.
No, man.
Go ahead.
Nah, man. This is January 1st, baby. It's the new year.
Yeah, it is. We'll be hungover probably, most of us.
But the Steelers are hot, man. They're on pursuit to avoid head coach Mike Tomlin's first losing season in 16 years, bro. Okay? The last time they met, Pickett got hurt. And Trubisky ended up playing the game. And Trubisky threw the ball and threw 3 interceptions. Like, they helped the Ravens win this game.
Yeah,
it's not happening. Not happening. Because Pickett's going to play. And he's going to tough it out for this win. So give me the Steelers.
All right, Pickett gets picked.
He's not picking. He's picking the Ravens away. That's what's happening. All right. The Rams visiting the Chargers. This is probably the hardest pick I had all of it because the Chargers already clinched. The Rams are just debacling, right? I don't know what to say about this. And if I'm the head coach, Brandon Stanley, I will at least have my starters there for the first half because you're not winning the division, okay? And then put my secondaries in the second half and just leave it as is. And the safe side, I'm just taking the Chargers to win.
I'm taking the Chargers too, but look, ever since Baker Mayfield came on board, I mean, he's played well. He has played really well. So he's averaged about 230 yards and like 4 touchdowns and no interceptions in 2 starts at SoFi. So I don't know. This is going to be pretty interesting, the Battle of LA. So
let me ask you this. Who has home field advantage?
I think the Chargers do. I think the Chargers do.
The Jets versus the Seahawks.
I was battling with this game for quite some time here. But I don't know if you may call me crazy, but I'm picking New York Jets in this game. I don't know if you want to call it an upset because they're both fighting for something that's really worth something. I know the Jets have lost 4 in a row, and Mike White is back. They don't know if they want him or Zach Wilson, but Seattle has lost 3 in a row here too. So I think the Jets get it done here. So yeah, give me New York football Jets.
Seattle finds a way to sweep New York teams, okay? They beat the Giants. Right. I think they're going to beat the Jets, honestly.
You think so?
So the Jets are on a 4-game losing streak, and the Seahawks are on a 3-game losing streak. Geno Smith is a former starter of the New York Jets, and he has a meaningful game, and he will have the last laugh, okay? The Jets will be eliminated after this weekend.
I think the Seahawks will be eliminated.
I know I said in the show that I wish the Jets will be there, but due to the fact that they're playing against the Seahawks in Seattle, the 12th man is going to be up. It's Lumen Field, baby. And even though the
I
Jets
get
are
it.
favoring this game, but the Seahawks are taking it.
Okay. I just think this New York team will win in Lumen Field.
Fair enough.
Unlike
We'll see.
unlike the other one.
Just remember who's on the hot streak.
Just remember who's in first place.
It's how you finish, baby. Panthers versus the Bucks. This is how you finish. You ready? I got the Panthers, baby. I got the Panthers. They hot right now. They got an interim head coach, and he might be able to be the head coach. All right, officially. Give me the Panthers, man.
You're feeling hot. Yeah, I know the Panthers beat the Bucks in Week 7. They whooped the mess out of the Buccaneers in that week. But I think things are going to turn around here. I think Tom Brady, who's on his last leg here, is limping away with a victory over the Carolina and clinch this division title and send the Buccaneers to their last playoff in their history, probably. So,
all right, let me give you a history lesson real quick.
To win this game.
Let me give you a history lesson real quick.
Okay, history.
Tampa Bay has never won the division title back to back. Booyaka. There you go. That's history.
Give me Tampa Bay.
Ted Bowles should not be the head coach. It's the reason why he got fired as a New York Jet head coach, okay? He might be the best coordinator, but he is not one of the best head coaches. I'm sorry. And you got Tom Brady in your team. Come on, bro. Come on. Well. The Browns versus the Commanders.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know what the Commanders were thinking putting Carson Wentz back in there. This, to me, it just doesn't make any kind of sense. So I'm going to the Cleveland Browns side here. I just want to see them upset Washington and just embarrass them with Carson Wentz quarterbacking. I know the Browns has been very inconsistent, but they do average just about 15 points a game since Deshaun Watson has returned. To me, I think that's going to be enough because Carson Wentz is a dun-dun in my opinion. So I think Cleveland is dangerous and has nothing to lose here but to upset the Washington Commanders. Give me the Browns.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I originally had the Commanders, okay? But when I found out that Taylor Heineken is not going to play, I said, nope, give me the Cleveland Browns, okay? The Commanders are favoring this game by 2 points. I think they need to change the spread. I will and listen, if you're sports betting, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is what I did last week with San Diego. I changed the spread. I changed the spread to 9.5, knowing that they're only giving the Chargers only 3, right? I'm going to change Cleveland Browns and give them -8. I'll pick them favorites over the Commanders. Absolutely. Now, Monday Night Football, the Bills versus the Bengals. Now, this is probably the game of the week. And what better to have it on primetime television, right? Bills, Bengals, which could potentially be an AFC championship game. Who knows? Or divisional. I love this game, man.
Yeah, I love it too. Cincinnati to me is on the hot seat here because they already know. Well, more to me Cincinnati than Buffalo because Cincinnati is the defending AFC champions. Okay, they already proved that they can beat Patrick Mahomes. They own him. Okay, but now they know that they have to get over that hump and try to take down Buffalo, who's probably the better team in my opinion in the AFC because Buffalo 2 beat Kansas City. But for this game right here, oh, Lord have mercy. Give me the slight edge to Buffalo here. This is a mega matchup here. You know, I just think that I just feel like Buffalo's offense is going to just outshine Cincinnati's defense just a little bit. I mean, it's pretty much matchup for matchup when it comes to offense and defense. But overall, Buffalo has the number 2 offense in the league versus Bengals' 13th ranked defense. So that kind of bothers me there. I don't see how they're going to be able to stop, you know, the passing game for the Buffalo Bills. They may be able to stop the running game, but I don't see how they're going to stop the passing game. So,
oh man, I feel sorry for you, man.
You think so? Okay.
No, man. No, man. No. Here we go. On paper, the Bills have a better offense and defense than the Bengals. However, the Bills have an easier schedule. Okay, in the last 6 games, they're in a 6-game win streak. Okay, but the Bengals are on a 7-game win streak with one of those wins over the Chiefs. Okay, the Bengals have a harder schedule than the Bills. They're ready. They are ready for the Bills. This is a clean sweep. Okay.
Mm.
Let me see. The only game that I was worried about was the Bengals scoring 22 points, and then all of a sudden they almost choke at the end against the New England Patriots. Now I don't know if it was the weather or the injuries and stuff like that, but they're gonna regroup. And that being that this is in Cincinnati, I got a gut feeling, and I'm telling you right now that the Bills are favored by 1 right now. It could be a pick 'em by the time it's game time.
I say,
but the Bengals are going to win by 7. This is not by minimum 7 points. This is going to be a touchdown win. The Bengals will prevail and get rid of the Bills and allow the Chiefs to have home field advantage. I know, right? Ain't that crazy?
That is something how that all plays out between these three teams. Knowing that both these teams beat Kansas City, how Kansas City can still get the number 1 seed out of all this.
And you know what? And that's good for the Bengals because I think they play better on the road than what they do at home, especially in the playoffs. And you got Joe Burrow, man. How are you going to go against Joe Burrow? I mean, this is a guy that I've been a fan of since he played for LSU. To go in there, and he is like the king of Ohio, and he's going to show. I think he's going to show off his skills on primetime television. Why Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. Well, you got to have Joe, baby.
Well, let's just see if the offensive line can protect Joe Burrow in this. I don't see how the Bengals are going to run the ball against that stingy rush defense of the Buffalo Bills. They may be able to pass the ball if they could protect them in the pocket. But I just think this is going to be a very close game. This could be an AFC rematch for the championship game. I just like Buffalo. I'm sticking with the Buffalo gun here. I'm sorry. I mean, that's my pick to go to the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with them.
Look, no. Listen. I did pick the Bills, but this is regular season, right?
Yeah.
We'll leave the postseason alone for now. But regular season, you got to give it to the Bengals. I like it. Yep, and that wraps up everything up. I think I lost Hector real quick, but it's all good. Hey, listen, this is All Four Dons podcast. We're here every Wednesday. We're a little bit early in our broadcast today, being that it is the last week of the new year. But however, I want to thank everybody that's supporting our podcast, All Four Downs, and the CMG Sports. We did a lot of changes this year, collaborating and everything else. Big ups to Joe Aguirre, who is the CEO of CMG Sports, and to all the podcasters within our organization. And we can't thank enough to all the fans out there who are supporting us and cheering us on. And whether we debate and everything else, that at the end of our show and everything else that we provide, that we do this for entertainment. We do this for the love of the sports. And I couldn't ask for anything better but to say thank you guys for subscribing to our channel, supporting us all the way. So our New Year's resolution, I want to say that we want to double our subscribers and put ourselves in a platform that we can't do this without you. So thank you very much for supporting us. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, a Merry Christmas, and I want everyone to have an awesome Happy New Year. On behalf of Hec Love and myself, Ovi, thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. God loves some football, shall we, huh? We'll be back. At least I'll be back in a half an hour for the college football, baby. It's the Bowl Mania, baby. You don't want to miss it. Take care.